When Pac-12 gymnasts are in the arena, you can expect breathtaking skills, dazzling personalities, and even perfection.
Yes! She got it! Crystal is perfect!
Shea Campbell is perfect again. The best teams in the nation and the biggest stars in the sport will take the stage. As they begin the hunt for a Pac-12 championship on the road to nationals.
Really beautiful routine. The sky is the limit for her.
It all happens right here, right now, and only on the Pac-12 network. Snow. It's snowing in Seattle. Temperatures, of course, in the 30s in the Emerald City, but it's balmy and boisterous inside Alaska Airlines Arena, home of the number 22 ranked Gym Dogs, the University of Washington, today hosting one of the sport's legendary programs, fourth ranked UCLA. It's the meet of the week, and it's live on the Pac-12 network. Hi everybody, Jim Watson and Elisa Mao. Welcome to Montlake, where optimism is in the air. Sure, it's the conference opener, but both of these teams have already been in action, two different meets, and it was the scores in those meets that make us think that maybe for both these teams could be a special year.
Yeah, both these teams started off as hot as they have since the mid-2000s. Great way to start.
So for UCLA, coming off a challenging season last year, how do we say it delicately? Well, it was emotional, both physically and, well, they had a lot of injuries, they had a lot of problems. Now things have changed. Janelle McDonald has come in. She's the right temperament for this team right now. And they have Jordan Childs. She's ranked in everything, number 3 in the country in the all-around.
Not only is she one of the best in NCAA, she's one of the best in the world. But what I really love about Jordan is she couples her hard gymnastics with an incredible joy and levity. You'll see her dancing around the floor, supporting her teammates, really getting involved and showing her love of the sport, in addition to nailing landings like that.
We've known about Jordan Childs, of course, from her time in the lead. But what about Selena Harris, who's come in and has taken the conference by storm?
You see it right there, the two-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week. Last week went near perfect 9.975 on bars, and Coach McDonald said she is a gamer. When it's go time, when the lights come up, she is ready to go.
Jen Llewellyn took over in Seattle last year. By the end of the season, they were getting traction. They rolled that into this season behind the steady leadership of Skylar Kilholm-Wilhelm.
Skylar, the highest-ranked Husky all-arounder. She has the details down. Little things like pointed toes on her dismounts, in her tumbling, and Coach Llewellyn really credits her off-season mental and physical preparation to how well she's done thus far.
Skylar's been a leader and a big name in this conference for a couple of years now. Here's a name from the past, but this is a different first name. Navarro, we remember her sister.
Exactly. Lana Navarro, the sophomore UW. Her sister Lauren finished up at Stanford last season, but Lana starting off so hot, 9.9 on floor, matched a career high last week. You'll see her in 3 events tonight, and she's been so consistent for the Huskies.
Gym Dogs coming off season highs in all 4 events. Last week in Salt Lake City, they finished second to the Bruins, off to their best start in 18 years. Number 4 UCLA, number 22 Washington, on a snowy day in Seattle, and only on the Pac-12 network. The week is presented by Pacific Premier Bank, the official bank of the Pac-12 Conference, and brought to you by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12 Conference, and by Clean Simple Eats, elevating life through food and fitness. Pioneer Square started to dry out just a little bit. It started raining this morning, then it started snowing, and then it did something between. I'm from San Diego, I think it's called sleet. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
I read about it one time. It was kind of strange. All right, so Washington comes in as number 22, and really the turnaround began a year ago when Jen Llewellyn was hired. Remember, she was Jen Kessler, an All-American and a Pac-12 champion at Oregon State back in the day. But she went away for a while, 9 years as the head coach at Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri. They won national championships at the D2 level, and she earned this job, and now they closed last year with 3 of their top 4 scores, went to the regional, their best regional score in years, and they rolled it right into this year, and you can feel something happening here on Montlake. Kessler now has brought in like 6 freshmen and a transfer. They have 11 holdovers from last year, so you can feel the ship has turned here, and it's going to be fun watching her build it. At the other end, UCLA has a new head coach, Janelle McDonald, longtime assistant at Cal, And Janelle comes in, and I said it at the top, perfect temperament for this team. Always optimistic, very energetic, and certainly knows, especially the bars, as good as anybody in this country. And she's got a great story. She actually started coaching when she was still in high school. She's been coach of the year on a number of different levels before, so she just grew up in the sport. And also, she's a Northwest girl from Federal Way, Washington, down by SeaTac Airport, and went to Arizona State. So both of these programs taking a turn here in the last 12 months, and both on their ways up. For UCLA, challenging year last year, they've left it behind. UCLA number 4, they've already moved up 2 spots this year. They're coming off a win at the Wasatch Classic last week. They went 197-8-5. They've gone 197 plus in both of their early meets. UCLA loaded again.
Yeah, it's no surprise that they're doing as well as they are in bars. That is Coach McDonald's specialty. Excited to see them start on that event tonight.
Washington finished second at the Wasatch Classic last week and went 196-5-5. The great thing for Washington, they had a good opening meet in Las Vegas at the Super 16, then came back and bested all 4 events, and of course their total in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely. And the unique thing about those 2 meets is they were on a podium. So they're on an elevated surface. It's a bouncier surface. And so adjusting to being on a basketball court like this will be something to watch for both teams as they both competed on podium the last 2 meets.
Yeah, they're both grounded, so to speak, again today.
Exactly.
UCLA comes in number 4. They are 3-3, but in gymnastics, remember, you're up against multiple opponents on any given day. Washington 4-2. Two losses, both the ranked teams, including UCLA last week. Olympic order, so for UCLA, they will begin on the bars, but Washington, as the home team, goes first and starts on the vault. And Emily Ennis, a freshman from Pittsburgh, is about to perform her very first collegiate scored vault. She was an exhibition last week?
That's right, exhibition at the Wasatch Classic last week. She'll start with that Yurchenko full vault you'll see throughout the day, worth a 9.95. But what a way to start her Husky career at home. First up on vault.
Might as well go first, lead off. I don't have time to get nervous. We're going to see her again later on the floor where she's very good. But this will be her first collegiate vault in purple and gold.
Super clean. You could tell she really tried for the stick, which means she landed forward, took those 2 little hops, probably about 2.5 tenths in landing deductions, but very, very clean in the air and a confident start for the freshman.
I like that she went for it instead of playing it safe.
Absolutely.
Hit driver off the tee, why not? All right, for UCLA, they begin, as we mentioned, on the bars where UCLA is the best team in the conference and 3rd in the country. And here's Shea Campbell. Shea Campbell's been in the all-around in all of her meets, former freshman of the year in this conference. She's had the same score on this event, 9.825 in the first 2 meets.
Yeah, and that is a score that will rise for Shea as the season progresses. The dismount that comes up here is where she'll see deductions sometimes. It's a blind landing double front and just the tiniest of hops. That should best those 9.825s.
So I implore you to watch Janelle McDonald if you can take one eye off the gymnast on the apparatus and watch the head coach, because this is her event, and she always put on a show at Cal, jumping up and down. She's a cheerleader on the sideline.
Watch this double front, super high, well rotated. The tiniest hop for Shea and an also tiny hop there for Janelle.
Remember when Janelle was at Cal, they had the best bars team in the country. Finished 7th at the NCAAs that same year. That bars team was unchallenged. So we'll pass the scores on our tombstone graphic as they come to us. And you see the start values there. They're all 9.95. So UCLA has 2.10 start values on their vaults, but we'll get to them in the next rotation. 9.5 on the opener for Ennis. I thought she deserved a bit better than that.
Yeah, that feels low. Did have those hops forward, but we'll see Brenna a different looking vault. She lands forward, her layout half, and just the tiniest of hops. What I loved about that vault is she landed directly on that white line on the mat. Those lines are new in college gymnastics. They're to help tell the judges where she is. She really wants to be right in between it. You don't want to hop over, but really clean vault from the senior.
She had a 9.8 at the Las Vegas Super 16 in week 1. Did not fare so well last week at Wasatch, so it's good to get back on the horse. Did a good one. Campbell goes 9-8, so that's 3 9-8 pluses for Campbell to start the year on bars. Second up will be Emily Lee for UCLA. Emily Lee, vault, bars, and beam expected to be in all three today. Had a bit of an unsteady start on this at a 9.775 in Vegas. Looking for better.
Emily Lee is one of those international elite athletes that Janelle has in the lineup that has such a huge bevy of skills to choose from. And putting this routine together and finding that beautiful double layout landing, Janelle said was a unique experience. They were playing with a few things, and Emily said was having trouble with the low bar transition and said, oh, well, I can do a Van Leeuwen, which is that low to high transition, one of the most difficult skills being done on bars. And so she threw it in, and it results in that fantastic routine.
So 3 on her program today, bars and beams still to come. She missed all of last season with an Achilles. She actually injured her Achilles at the Olympic trials. The year before that, a 3-time member of the U.S. national team. 9.675, numbers going in the right direction for Washington, but they need to bump it up. And here is Lana Navarro, who we talked about at the top. She too has 3 events on her program besides vault, the beam and floor as well.
Here's Lana's Yurchenko full, so clean. You may remember last season she competed the 1.5. It's a risk-reward conversation for these coaches because this 1.5 is, or the full is so clean and easy for Lana. You can see as her confidence progresses, if she adds that extra half turn to get the 10.0 star value.
She was pretty reliable on this event as a freshman, 9.8 plus most of the time. She's already had a 9.825 this year, last week, and a 9.8 in the opening week in Vegas. Back-to-back 9.8s for Campbell and Lee. And here comes Kalani Steele. Now, for Steele, on bars, her last bars, March 6th of 22 at Cal.
And she only competed twice last season. Has battled a lot of injuries, so it's so great to see her back in the lineup. She's always had such a clean bar appearance. I love the straight arms she has throughout. Nice handstands thus far.
Her career best came way back in 2020, trying to reestablish herself.
Just that hop forward there, she slung out that double layout a little far, but for the first bar routine in quite a while, a really great job by Kalyani.
Yeah, and that was a personal moment for her to get back after it. And a lot of folks here inside Alaska Airlines Arena didn't understand how long it had been since she'd been up there. And what a big moment that was when she get back up on the apparatus after being injured for so long, just to feel normal again.
Yeah, the unseen side of college gymnastics is the recovery. We've got a few people in boots on scooters around. That really takes a lot of dedication to make it back out into the lineup.
9.775 for Navarro. Here comes Skylar Kilo-Wilhelm. She's the leader of this team.
Wow, and you can see why that vault was fantastic. The hop was really the only deduction you can take because her body position from the board to the vault and then into the air is truly something to watch.
At one point in her career, on this event, Skylar had 50 straight vaults of 9.8 or better. She went 9.85 at Wasatch last week. I mean, that's remarkable consistency.
Exactly.
She'll be in the all-around. The only all-arounder scheduled for Washington. UCLA has 3. Shea Campbell, Jordan Childs, and Selena Harris, all expected to be busy today. Speaking of Selena Harris, as we see Steele's 9.825, so UCLA on the right track, and again, number 3 in the country as a team on bars. Harris, back-to-back freshman of the week in the Pac-12 conference. She is ranked on everything but beam. She is number 9 in the country on bars. Both big scores, both have been 9.9 or better, including a 9.975. And she won Wasatch last week. She went 9.9 at Las Vegas. How many ways can I just say she's really good?
Yeah, take a look at this opening release. It's called a ray. Toe on Tkachev, super high, catches with very nice straight arms, and has such a command of those handstands. Makes it look very easy. See if she hits that one on the high bar, wow, love the hold. And the blindfold to a double layout. That is one of the hardest connections. Most college gymnasts are doing the blindfold into a double tuck. Lisa at Utah also does that same combination. And look at the body position. Just a tiny bit of chest down on the landing was the only deduction I saw in that routine.
But you can start when she was in club and look at her just show it off and show the core strength.
Yeah.
19-time Nevada State champion and an 8-time national level 10 champion, and then 2018 U.S. Championships, she was 10th in the all-around. And now she's a Bruin and already 2-time freshman of the weekend with one good score in her pocket already, just waiting for the tally. Look at these scores from 9.5 all the way up to 9.85. Good one from Skylar. Mara Cunningham now tries to bump it even higher, up into the 9.9s. Finished hot on this event last year and started out the same way, coming off a season high 9.85 at Salt Lake City.
Wow. Just like Skylar, it's a fantastic vault. Amara, fifth-year senior, has competed that so many times, but the cleanliness, the distance, the height, just that tiny hop back, and maybe some flexed feet if I'm being super picky. A great body position and command of that vault.
Already you can see a confidence that Washington hasn't shown in a couple of years. UCLA, of course, has always had the swagger. Look at Jordan Childs saying, I'll entertain myself until the judges are ready. 2020 Olympic silver medalist. Tied for first at Salt Lake City last week in the all-around with the freshman Harris. On the beam and the vault. And bar scores have been great. Both 9.95 or better. 9.975 to finish second last week.
Count 'em. Jordan does 4 release moves in this routine. Excellent handstand there. Goes for Maloney into a ganger between the bars. Caught that a little close. Had to bend her arms. And there's her dismount. Nice. I'll call that college stick because she's trying to sell it to the judges. Not showing exactly the most control.
Listen to the crowd. This is the visiting team that just did that, but of course it's an Olympian, so you're going to get excited. Here it is again.
It's Olympian, and she's a home product from Vancouver down south.
Yeah,
so
good
here's
point.
the first of the release moves, that pike Jaeger, and then check out her full twisting dismount. Let's go with the bar a tiny bit early. You can see when they let go of the bar early, the bar will shake a little bit. So you can see that when you're watching bar dismounts.
Well, exactly what Washington wants to see. Cunningham goes 9.875, so they got to drop that 9.5 for a good score in this rotation. And this is Schrady now, the freshman from Truckee, California, trying to finish off the rotation.
And finds the landing. Feet were a little bit apart, but a great vault for the freshman. So watch where her feet land in relation to the line. So she goes a little bit crooked, pikes down, like how she hops back inside to maybe trick the judges.
Should be Emma Schrady's only event of the day unless Jen Llewellyn changes things up. And it's been known to happen in this sport. Not quite done with the rotation. UCLA will finish with Marzetta Frazier. Remember, she was out almost all of last year, fractured her foot in the season opener at Minnesota. We haven't seen her on our network since, but she has been in competition already twice this year.
And she has really gone back to the basics when she was coming back from her injury in the offseason. Janelle McDonald really focuses on basics, like that half pirouette handstand. Very few in the country land it as cleanly as she did in handstand.
Pac-12 co-champion on this event 2 years ago.
Really nice double layout. I liked her chest position upon the landing, just that small slide back.
Good to see Marzetta Frazier feeling 100% again, back where she belongs in the starting lineup for UCLA and with a smile on her face. So for Washington in that opening rotation on the vault, they go 48.675, and that's not official. We still have to add one more score, so that's unofficial. They had 3 scores of 98.5 or better last week to get to 49. And now it gave Schrady, is that official? 9.575 for Schrady,
That's
which
right.
would give them a 48.750. So a little underwhelming for Washington to start, but for UCLA, now they're going to go 49, close to 49.3, and we'll total it up when we come back to Montlake. It's the meet of the week on the Pac-12 Network.